Kent, this is Dennis Clark. The golf school, I had a couple of swings from that lesson that you had briefly, and there's a couple of things that you want to do to stop pull hook at the ball. One is your grip. That's a given. Anytime that you're moving the ball one way or the other, extremely right or left, you always have to do a grip change. So for you, I made the left thumb a little bit longer and to take your hands out of the shot a little bit. Okay, now as far as the mechanics of the swing, you had observed that you feel like you're coming over the top. Well, you are, but I want to point out to you how you're coming over the top, because there's two ways that you can get outside the golf ball. First of all, you're going to have to, your shoulders are open to start with. Okay, it could be an indication the ball's a little too far forward, but you've got to square up your shoulders. You almost got to feel like you tuck that right shoulder back, almost like it's closed a little bit. Okay, so that's one thing that you really should do. And the grip. So you're going to square your shoulders and change your grip a little bit. Now, if you watch your swing, when you go back, it goes outside. It goes way outside. So there's your target line, and your club's going out. That's why I've got to square the shoulder. Do you see where the shoulder is now? That's where it should have been to begin the swing. So if you move it back a little bit, you can arc this club in this way a little bit, and that's going to help you swing out this way. So it starts straight outside because you're moving the club basically with your arms, not turning your shoulders. See where you are right now? By that time in the swing, by that point in the swing, your shoulders should be already pretty turned. And they're barely turned. So, and the club should be in line with your hands here. So let me get one up here so that you can picture this. Because you were doing some of this the first day, I think, in Pinehurst too. So you may want to address this once and for all. And it would start with your shoulders, as I said. And try to get a good model downline driver for you. No, downline driver. Give me a second, I'll find one right here. Okay, so the camera's not good, but one thing we'll see is as she gets back to here, the club's already caught up with her. Her shoulders are pretty turned. She turns there. Good full turn. Or Robert Allen. This is a 3-wood, but you'll still see what I mean. At the same point in the swing as you are. But you see how much more of the chest we can see, and how the club is in line with his hands here. See how far the club is outside your hands here? Well, there's no, if you had a big loop and rerouted it back to the inside, that would be fine, but you don't do that. So you have to take the club more inside, clearly, much more inside. And then as you go, the shoulders are trying to play catch up now. And that's why the club is so far pointed to the left. So there's what the club should look like. Down the line of where he's swinging. Okay, so you're swinging this way with the club pointed over that way. So you're not swinging over the top of your swing, so to speak. You're swinging over the top of the target line because of where the base of your plane line is. In other words, that swing there is the equivalent of aiming 20 yards left. So if this swing with this club would be to give you an idea to make the point, so you can grasp it here. If this flag where we're hitting out over were over here, your club would be in line. But when it's this far outside your hands in the backswing, it can only come outside your hands in the downswing. So it's over the top, but you notice you're not. In other words, your shoulders are not. Your body's fine, but you're swinging the club where you're aimed. Okay, so let's go over that again. You're aimed left. In other words, right now you're aimed. Club is closed. Stance is fairly square, but shoulders are a good 10 yards left. And then when you take it outside and point it there, now we're aimed way left. And so if you swing down, the club's going to be that far outside the ball. It's going to be exactly where you're swinging. And now for you, instead of spinning out with your shoulders like the classic over the top sort of maneuver, you don't. You just get the club left at the top and swing left at the bottom. You see where you're swinging there? So if we did this illustration with a clock dial, maybe, with your target being, let's say, 12 o'clock, you'd want to feel like you were swinging maybe out there to 1 o'clock. Okay, but you're swinging over here to 9:30 because that's where you're set up to swing. That's the point. I want you to realize how much of this is done at the setup. Now the shoulders are even more open. And you've got to, if this club is closed, if this club is pointed left of the target, it will go outside. So you've got to realize that. Your shoulders are aimed about 10, 15 yards left there. So if this were, again, if we were on a clock dial here, and let's say the target was 12, or it's actually closer to 11:30 here, then we would want the swing to be something like 7-1. You can see what happens though. It goes out there to 5, points up there to 10, and swings out from 5 to 9:30. So what we're trying to do, bottom line of all that, is we've got to get you down more inside. But you got to really, really close up your shoulders. Get the shoulder way back and turn it and feel like you're swinging more out in this direction, and you'll have it. Okay, you have very good swing speed and should be able to play a very good level of golf if you get over a couple of these fundamental flaws, which we all have, and you got to I think being aware of them is the best way to get over them. So that should help you.